They stole the $120,000 I'd saved since I was 18 to pay my brother's debt, his honeymoon, and a luxury car. Dad smirked, "Thanks for your naivety, family pays family." I laughed, because the money they took was a trap. "Thanks for your naivety," said my dad, "your family now pays your share." I just gawked at the phone, totally stunned like it had just yelled at me or something. "Excuse me?" I asked, not because I missed what he said, but because I hoped he'd say it again, slower, with the gravity it really deserved. He just laughed and said, "Come on, you've always been the responsible one. Helping out your brother a bit isn't being selfish, is it?" That's when I let out this sharp, bitter laugh that probably sounded like it was bouncing off shards of glass. The thing is, they didn't know it, but every dollar of that $120,000 they took wasn't what they thought it was. Let's rewind a bit. The last time I met my folks in person was at a family dinner in late March. I showed up with a bottle of wine, a pie I baked the night before, and a clumsy attempt at staying positive. I hadn't seen my brother in months, but there he was, fresh from a honeymoon with a tan and a shiny new Rolex. That definitely wasn't in his last mirror selfie. I remember my dad's exact words that night. Halfway through dinner, he raised his glass to David's future, saying, "May your student loans never haunt you, and may your new car treat you better than your last mistake." Then he turned to me, "And thank you, Nathan, for being the kind of son who doesn't make us worry, for always being the good one." My mom giggled, my brother smirked, and I was clueless. It all clicked when I checked my bank account the next morning and saw my life savings were gone. Every cent I'd saved since I was 18, every unspent birthday check, every freelance gig payment I had tucked away for the future, $120,000 gone like water down the drain. I thought it was some kind of fraud, like a hack. I called the bank, half panicked, half embarrassed. Nope, it was all authorized. Apparently, my name had been added to a family trust account months ago, a joint thing for emergencies. I remembered signing something at Christmas, but they told me it was just a tax form for a family investment. They made it seem routine, and I signed it like a trusting fool, like family. It got worse from there. The money had already been used, $58,000 to pay off David's MBA, $12,000 for his honeymoon in the Maldives, $38,500 for a new Tesla, and the rest on random family expenses. I called them, shaking, furious but still polite because, for some reason, that's how I was raised. My mom didn't pick up, my brother just sent a heart emoji with a thumbs up, but my dad answered and said, "Thanks for your naivety, your family now pays your share." That's when something inside me cracked, slow and deep, like a heavy thing shifting under a frozen lake. I couldn't stop laughing because the money they took wasn't what it seemed, and neither was I. When I was 19, I gave my brother my laptop because he was broke and needed it for school. At 21, I covered my parents' mortgage for 3 months because Dad said times were tough, and I'd get it all back. By 24, I co-signed a loan for David because his credit was just a formality. By 27, I'd sent them so much money I had to keep a spreadsheet to stay sane. Not once did they say, "Thank you." It wasn't seen as generosity but as a duty. I was the dependable one, the fixer, the background character in their lives, always showing up in the third act with a check and a tired smile. They weren't villains, not at first glance. My dad was charming, everyone said so. He'd tell stories, pour drinks, make you feel like the center of the world, until you disagreed with him, then he'd tear you apart with that same smile. My mom was sweet and quiet, always caught in the middle, but never stopped him, not once. And David, my golden boy brother, he used guilt like a pro. "I'm trying, man. It's not easy being the one with all that pressure," he'd say. I even paid for his LSAT prep, but he dropped out. Paid for business school, and he disappeared for 6 weeks to Ibiza. Still, I kept helping because I foolishly thought they'd eventually see me, not as a bank, but as a person. That belief died the day I saw David's Instagram post. There he was, standing in front of his new Tesla, one hand on the roof, his fiancée in the other, with a caption that read, "Work hard, play harder. New chapter begins. #grind pace off #blessed #no handouts." I sat on the floor of my apartment, wearing the same sweats for 3 days, staring at the screen like it was speaking in tongues. Alright, here's the scoop. So, I'm scrolling through social media, and there's David, flashing his new car, jet-setting on vacations, showing off some fancy ring, all with my money while playing the part of the self-made man to the world. I didn't say a word or react, I just shut the app and opened my files. See, I'm a bit paranoid, so I have all the receipts, screenshots of transactions, desperate messages, lies, emergency emails, PayPal restrictions, wire transfer confirmations, and even the forged signature page from a trust account they conned me into signing. All of it safely stored in my cloud. But things took an interesting turn when my cousin Laura messaged me. "Hey," she said, "is it true what your mom told us about you investing in David's startup? That's amazing." Apparently, my mom had been spreading the word that I was the one who believed in David's app idea when no one else did. There's just one little problem: there's no startup. I asked for proof, and Laura sent me a screenshot from a group chat. My mom had written a whole narrative: "We're so proud of Nathan for believing in David's app idea. It's not about money, it's about trust." That's when it hit me: this wasn't just theft, it was like they were stealing my story to make David look like a genius. I was the invisible supporter, the silent investor, playing a role I never agreed to. I texted my mom, laying it out: "There's no app, is there?" Her usual reply came back: "You're overthinking again. Why do you always do this?" Classic move, turning the truth-seeking into my supposed personality flaw. Ignoring her, I decided to dig deeper. Called the bank, confirmed every shady transaction, checked my credit history, and bam! Found out they opened a second credit line in my name, linked to my old childhood address. They'd racked up $17,200 in charges over 90 days on flights, jewelry, spa days, and a huge furniture purchase, all under the guise of family credit. I called up my dad, no politeness this time. He picked up, acting all normal, and started chatting about helping David with a down payment for a house, saying it's good for him to build equity. I went straight for it: "You opened a second credit line under my name. You forged my signature." He just laughed it off: "Don't be dramatic. We're family. You've always been the responsible one, it all balances out." "This is fraud," I shot back. His reply? "No, son, this is legacy. You help David now, and later he helps your kids." I hung up, fuming. Later, I got pulled into another group chat, this time with more extended family. Mom's first message? "Please support David and Kayla's new life. Nathan's been so generous. True family values." Her message included a link to a GoFundMe aiming for $50,000 to help with a down payment and business growth, listing me as a donor twice and a $5,000 donor from Big Bro. I didn't give a cent. Instead of screaming, I hit download on everything, all their manipulative messages, every lie. I was done playing along. So, I set up a live stream for 8 p.m. sharp, with a straightforward caption: "What does betrayal sound like when it comes with a smile?" I've got the receipts. By 7:55, 60 people were waiting. By 8:03, over 900 joined, mostly family, a few mutual friends, even some strangers. One of David's fiancée's cousins popped up in the chat. I started with silence, just showing a slide titled "How My Family Stole $120,000 and Called It Love." Then I turned the camera on. "Hi, I'm Nathan. You might have seen my name on GoFundMe pages, Facebook posts, maybe wedding photos. You probably thought I was the generous brother, the good son. Well, I was quiet, but not anymore." I showed the next slide, a PDF of my drained savings account, over $120,000 withdrawn in 7 months, labeled with BS like tuition reimbursement, family travel, honeymoon prep, vehicle assistance, and miscellaneous. I let that sink in, then spoke. "I didn't authorize a single one of those transfers, but my name was on the trust account because I was tricked into signing a fake tax form at Christmas." Next slide, my credit report showed a new credit card opened for my childhood address. A $17,200 balance and the clear forgery of my signature. I zoomed in. That's not my handwriting, but that's my name, my credit score, my life. The chat exploded with reactions like, "This is criminal and your own family, bro? This is actual fraud." I moved on to a screenshot of the GoFundMe showing my name as a $5,000 donor, which was entirely fake. I explained, "I'm not angry at those who donated. I get why you did. I believed in them once, too. It's crucial you all know the truth. They used my name to bait more money. Some of you gave thinking, if his brother believes, maybe I should too. I didn't." And then, I hit play on the audio, my dad's voice coming through. So, picture this: a couple of weeks back, I lifted a clip from a call that went down. It was all like, "Nate, man, you're in this family, no opting out. Everyone's gotta pull their weight." And then I hit him with some laughter, thanking them for being so clueless. It made my job way easier. The stream paused for a second, then, bam, the comments blew up. Everyone was throwing out the name Kayla, David's ex-fiancée. She jumped in, saying, "I had no idea he was using your cash. I bailed when I found out." And then she added more, he said you co-signed for the Tesla. I should have known better. I didn't even bother replying, just clicked to the last slide. My final message was clear, this wasn't about revenge, it was self-defense. They used my silence, my savings, my signature. I wasn't there to cry, I was there to stop all the nonsense. If the door slammed, so what? I wasn't there to embarrass anyone, just to clear my name and show how easy it is for someone's voice to get wiped away when they keep quiet for too long. And with that, I ended the stream. At 8:41 p.m., my phone started buzzing. Dad called, I let it ring out. At 8:42, Mom left a voicemail, all distressed, how could you do this to us? We're mortified. By 8:45, David shot me a text, taunting, you think the internet's gonna love you forever? You're just bitter. I shut him down with one sentence, I've got the original trust document and the call logs. Keep texting. He ghosted. That night, my story was blowing up online with a hashtag I didn't even start, #FamilyFraud. For the first time ever, I felt like people actually saw me. They didn't lose their rep because I spoke up, they lost it because they built it on my silence. By the next morning, the stream had over 220,000 views. By the afternoon, it was all over the place, blogs, TikTok, you name it. Even financial educators and therapists were chiming in. A lawyer straight up called it a textbook case of financial abuse within a family, saying I handled it like a pro. At 3:27 p.m., my mom hit Facebook with a throwback post of me and David as kids, all smiles and popsicles, captioned with, no mom is perfect, but no mom deserves this kind of public shaming by her own child. We raised them with love, even when we had nothing. We forgave and sacrificed, but some people forget. Tons of comments came rushing in, all love and support, but mixed in were folks asking the real questions. Didn't he post proof? What about the fake credit lines? Hold up, didn't they actually rip him off? By midnight, her post got flagged multiple times for misinformation. The next day, a lawyer hit me up with a cease and desist for defamation and emotional distress. Didn't faze me. I sent it to my attorney, Mia, with all the evidence, the trust documents, recordings of Dad's confession, screen grabs of shady GoFundMe donations, and a bank statement showing $120,000 in unauthorized withdrawals. Mia hit back with we're taking legal action. By 6 p.m., she'd filed for full repayment, $120,000 plus a 5% penalty for the credit fraud and damage done. I made sure their lawyer and accountant got the memo. Then I posted, no drama, just facts, you didn't lose your reputation because I spoke up. You lost it because I stopped protecting you. Attached everything, legal stuff, bank screenshots. It went viral so quick, #Team Nathan and #FamilyFraud started trending. People reached out, sharing their stories or offering free legal advice. A non-profit for financial abuse victims reshared my stream with a note, not all abusers are partners, sometimes they share your last name. By Thursday, the fallout was real. David scrubbed his social media clean. His fiancée's parents backed out of wedding plans, the venue pulled out, and the registry got trashed. Mom's Facebook vanished after people started spamming her old posts with receipts from my stream. Dad tried posting a macho real men don't whine online status, it got 3 likes from folks who hadn't seen the stream yet. Come Friday, I got a text from a blocked number. I opened it out of curiosity. It was a bank transfer, $120,000 to my account labeled Family Resolution. No apology, just the cash. I stared at it for ages. Then I sent it to Mia, mark it as received, but let them know the price of my silence isn't something I'm accepting anymore. She asked if I wanted to go public with it. I didn't, figured they'd said enough. They tried a last-ditch post on a private account, claiming everything was settled and misunderstood. But no one was buying it, not after the truth was laid bare for everyone to see. I didn't reply or post again. Just sat with it all, finally at peace. So, there I was, chilling in my quiet little apartment with the rent all paid up for the year, a fridge stocked with groceries, and not a single missed call to worry about. Even the dreaded family group chat was silent. Honestly, the quiet didn't feel lonely, it felt like something I'd earned. I didn't vanish to get back at anyone, I did it so I'd never have to deal with their drama again. It wasn't like I just disappeared overnight, but once I started cutting ties, I went all in. I changed everything, closed my bank accounts, canceled my phone number, sold my downtown condo and just took the cash. Didn't even bother packing, just hired some people and told them to burn the furniture. I moved 1,200 miles south and grabbed an apartment with no strings attached in some nondescript, humid place where no one could find me. Adopted a new name, Nathan E. Cross. It sounded clean, like someone who didn't know anything to anyone. I was done being the go-to guy when things went wrong. Bought a used Toyota, no loans or anything flashy. I stopped wearing watches, stopped doing birthdays, just hit the reset button on life. New passwords every click, new rules with every sunrise. No family, no blood connections, just blissful silence. At first, they tried reaching out. My mom would use other people's phones, create fake accounts. Her messages were always the same: please just talk to us. This isn't how family works. We're still your parents. But she never got that real love doesn't come with a bill attached or a side of guilt. So, I blocked every number, every platform, every ghost they sent my way. Even David tried once, sending a single message without a hello: congratulations, you've made yourself a martyr. Don't choke on your ego. I didn't reply, didn't even bother saving the message. He was a nonentity to me. 3 months later, I landed a new gig doing freelance cybersecurity for an Icelandic company. They paid in crypto, so no HR forms, no real names necessary. I started running at night, just me, the sound of gravel, and the wind. Didn't tell a soul where I was, not even my coworkers. I became a whisper in a new place, and it was perfect. Then one day, I got this heavy envelope, no name, just some fancy seal from Dunridge and Loan LLP. Thought they'd tracked me down, maybe mom hired someone, or David was trying to sue me. Stared at it for a good 20 minutes before slicing it open with a steak knife. Inside were 2 papers, one formal, one personal. The formal one informed me of Robert H. Graves' death. The personal one made it clear: Mr. Graves left Nathaniel Graves nothing. No mistake, just his final act of pettiness. This guy spent his life embarrassing me, acting like I was too sensitive. In the end, he finally stuck to his word. And I laughed because, for once, he didn't break a promise. I didn't go to his funeral, didn't even check if there was one. Just printed the will, drove to an empty beach, started a fire, and fed the will to the flames. As the smoke rose, I whispered, "You didn't forget me, you erased me. Now I've returned the favor." Later, I set up an automated message: "This number isn't monitored, this name isn't valid. If you're looking for Nathan, you've already lost him." Programmed it into my old email and deleted the account. These days, I drink my coffee alone, watch people laugh from afar, and feel nothing but free. Nobody here knows about my brother or my parents, and I never correct them. They think I'm just quiet and private, but really, I'm clean. I carry nothing that wasn't built with my own 2 hands. Every morning, I wake up to peace and remember how it felt to only be needed when someone else fell apart. They wanted to bury me in obligations, but I chose silence, not as punishment, but for survival.